Hello. So one of the things I hear a lot, you'll hear it from Gary Vaynerchuk, a bunch of people like that you need to be documenting, not creating. That's a difficult thing, obviously, as a filmmaker, because our main thing is creating. So we need to be doing that. So what do we document in addition to that? This is something that I've been struggling with, and I think I'm starting to learn what kind of content people actually want and what we can do reasonably to document our story and document our process. I am Craig and Xana, indie film and video producer. In this video, we're going to talk about what to document as a filmmaker. Gone are the days where you can just film some behind the scenes footage while you're making your movie and people will go nuts over it. Back in the day, that used to be the case, but I can tell you from experience that's not true anymore. Should you film behind the scenes? Of course you should, but you should also be doing a lot more. Thankfully, with the rise of vlogging, it's super acceptable to have much lower budget behind the scenes footage, and people will still be very interested in what you're showing. And everybody on set has a camera in their pocket. I think it's also valuable to show other parts of the process besides the behind the scenes while you're filming. I know that as a filmmaker, a lot of this can seem really tedious, and you know that the glamorous on-set stuff is only a tiny fraction of what actually goes into making a movie. There's a ton of sitting behind a computer, slaving over contracts, and walls full of note cards. That stuff is interesting to people that especially are getting started in filmmaking too. There's an interesting chart, and I'll see if I can find it and throw it up here, that shows basically as you're learning a process, everyone starts out at the bottom of this pyramid where they don't know anything about it, they kind of are interested in it. And then as you start to learn, once you get to a amateur level, you're kind of up above there at the second tier of the pyramid, and then obviously you kind of go to levels of expert and mastery beyond that. But the interesting thing is that there's intrigue and money to be made kind of at the second tier of the pyramid, where you have learned the basic skills that the majority of people still don't know, even if you haven't mastered the entire craft yet. And honestly, most of the time, once people are masters of the craft, they don't want to be teaching the masses anyway. So to get people up to that second tier, there's tons of opportunity to be that person teaching those skills. And that's honestly kind of where I'm at. I'd consider myself a little above the level of the amateur, because I've done enough things where I've learned some pretty in-depth things about filmmaking and film producing, but I'm still definitely not an expert, and I'm still definitely not a master of the craft by any means. But there's still plenty of people that are trying to get to the point where I'm at that I can help reach a hand down and bring you guys up here with me. And there's even people that are on kind of the same level as me, and I do the same thing with these people that I like to learn from. I watch a ton of YouTubers that are filmmakers that are showing behind the scenes processes, and it's super interesting to me. There's actually a few that I used to watch all the time, and two of my favorites both stopped making videos, and I'm like, no, I was really enjoying that. But I get it, it's a lot of work. I still think it's really valuable to do, and obviously I'm preaching to myself in this video because I am the master for the longest time of starting content and not really seeing it through. I think something that's really interesting too is seeing how the filmmaking process relates to the other parts of your life. Tell us about your storyboarding process. Tell us about the location fiasco that just happened. Some of my favorite YouTube creators shared this process, and with the exception of a few like Darius Britt, who's still really going at it. He just did a thing where he filmed some short films and had a GoPro on his head and was documenting the process while he was filming this one-man short film, which is amazing. But many of them have given up way too quickly. They did it for a month or two and then they just said, oh, never mind. And again, totally preaching to myself on this one. Start sharing your process. All the unglamorous parts. I want to hear about how you're raising kids and doing SAG paperwork at the same time, or how moving to another state completely derailed your post-production. Or I really, really want to hear from all of the filmmakers out there that are waiting on film festivals, or while their films are screening at film festivals. What's going on? Even if you're not at those film festivals, make a video and talk about it. Share in the comments below what you're working on. If you have a link to your channel, I'd love to watch it. I'd love to subscribe and check out the stuff that you're making. And this is kind of a call to arms for myself and for all of you other filmmakers out there to start documenting more of the process, more of the pre-production, more of the post-production, more of the distribution. This stuff is the parts of the process that a lot of people don't get to see. And as a young filmmaker, I loved the little bits of it that I could get on YouTube, and I just wish there was more of it, and I still wish there was more of it. So let's document and create. If you do, I will too. Subscribe to this channel if you're interested in this type of videos, and I will do the same if you're making similar videos. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see you around on the interwebs.